Back to our breaking news story. We now have Mike Lindell joining us now after a major legal battle involving him has come to an end. Mike, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I am just celebrating the good news coming out of this. Tell us about this legal case and what the latest is.
Well, the here it is, everybody. This is the second one now. Remember, the evidence, the $5 million challenge got overturned last summer, and they said Mike was right. This is all about the voting machine evidence, and now yesterday, if you don't see it in the news, they did one article out there from Law and Crime. Dominion dropped the lawsuit against Mike Lindell and MyPillow. They and That was it yesterday. So. Um, and I just want everybody to know it doesn't mean anything that I'm going to stop fighting these voting machine companies it was a nice gesture, but we are going to go, we're all in to get them, get rid of them, get to paper ballots hand counted. And here I'm going to announce right now, it should be within the next half hour. We're going to be posting on Lindell TV, everybody, its 800-page historical drop of the voting machine evidence. This has never been seen before. A lot of it you might have. We have bits and pieces were out there. This has been compiled over the last 5 years. This will be right here on Lindell TV. It'll be posted, like I say, in about 20 minutes. We're doing a press release on it, and anyone that ever tells you, then Vanessa, that ever says, "Oh, there's no evidence," there's no evidence. This is like a library. It's a historical library with 500 and some um, articles and 100% evidence that back each thing up. This was actually part of this given to the president when he was told by when he walked off that's reporter a few weeks ago, and he retruthed it. So it's a very exciting day. We're going to tie in, all this stuff going on, and then um, but it is people, it is a relief for me that I don't have to my pillow, which never did anything when Dominion sued them for $1.3 billion with a B, everybody. And my employees had to sit and worry about that because their CEO is out there practicing his free speech. And so this is a big relief. So we got one, two down. We are also appealing. The appeal just went out. It'll go out today. The Colorado case that My Pillow won a year ago. Vanessa, you were there. My Pillow won, and this is the last piece of that where we're putting in the appeal, and hopefully they rule on that very fast. It seems like the voting machine companies are falling like dominoes here. And then we have the last one you'll see in the news, Smartmatic here in Minneapolis. That's like a parked car. It's sitting there because if everybody remembers, the judge made a ruling before even going to trial that I defamed them, and then a week later it came out that Smartmatic is in fact committing crimes with their company, with their voting machines and against other countries, and that'll a lot of that'll be coming out too. But that was funny with that one because I'm going, okay, a week after this judge makes this ruling here in Minneapolis, it all comes out that yes, it's a criminal organization, basically. It's like I defamed the mafia, right? I figured it'd be like my cousin Vinny going, okay, in light of the new evidence, case dismissed. But according to my lawyers, that's now how it is. It can just sit there like a parked car, and judges can sit on it as long as they want, or indefinitely, or they can just throw it out on no stand. They can do a lot of things where they're afraid. A lot of these judges out there, I think they're in fear. They're not all judges aren't corrupt. They're like, that's a conspiracy theory saying all judges are corrupt, and they're not. I think a lot of them are just in fear because no one wants to go against the voting machines, you know.
Well, Mike, when I got this news last night, I was so excited for you because you are the biggest fighter out there for election integrity in my eyes and a lot of Americans' eyes. And so, I also went back to these other companies who settled with Dominion, but you never did. and you kept fighting for what was right, and you're still standing. And so this had to be a celebratory moment for you to know that all of this fighting, there's some reward there for you to know that you never gave up.
Well, yeah, and I'm never going to give up. I think was very clear in that. You go back years ago, and they, as I kept getting attacked. Do you have regrets, Mike? Do you have regrets that all you had to do was just back off and not, and not keep going after these electronic voting machine companies? And if you remember, Vanessa, they one of our attorneys in Colorado a year ago said to the jury, Mike's an equal opportunity voting machine basher. It's all brands. There is no good brands. They all have back doors, they're all vulnerable, and they all can be hacked, and that's that. 132 countries have banned electronic voting machines. We need to have secure elections. And but you say, is any, my thing is, they say, well, Mike, you feel vindicated. No, I'll feel vindicated when everybody out there goes, yes, here's all the evidence that we have to go to paper ballots, hand counted. And when we finally get there, we are putting, like I say, putting all the evidence up on Lindell TV now today, this historical evidence drop. Anyone can win any argument ever now. If you got somebody going, there was never any evidence, go here, have a ball, shop through. There's 800 pages. It's like it'll all be you can search anything. You can search things you might have heard about in the news back then. And then there it's going to be with this irrefutable evidence that we've had for 5 years, some of it as long as 5 years ago. So, but I am very happy today that MyPillow, my employees don't have to worry about this anymore, of getting attacked, because it's always been in the back of their heads. We're an employee-owned company. I'm just one of the owners. I think there's upwards of 60, 70 owners, and they've been nothing but attacked. The most attacked company in history. No one's been attacked more through lawfare by these voting machine companies, and then also our own government called Arctic Frost. And to be it's just been, but we're still standing. We're still standing, um, and it's been because of all the audience out there that keeps buying our products, and which brings up, Vanessa, what's your promo code? You got a promo code? Is it
It's
still
Vanessa,
Vanessa?
and I'll tell you, I
There you
had a
go.
shipment come into my front doorstep yesterday. My mom ordered a bunch of stuff, and when I told her that her shipment arrived, she said, "How big is the box?" And I said, "It's pretty big." So she must have made a huge order from my pillow.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
arrived yesterday, but my promo code is Vanessa. Mike, I have to tell too, I have to give kudos to your election crime bureau. You talked about this evidence that you'll be releasing, the 800-page
Yep.
report. The
Yep.
election crime bureau, Patrick Colbeck, they work around the clock to make sure that these claims, the fake news media will come out and say, oh, the elections aren't rigged. They work to put together the evidence and now are providing the proof for all of America to see.
Right.
The proof is there that there was cheating going on.
Yeah. Well, it's every election. It isn't just the 2020. The 2020, everybody, was just the most important election, I believe, in history, because it exposed everything. Over the last 5 years, we've learned so much. Our president, our great president, learned so much. I've told him many times, if they would have flipped it back then to Donald Trump, we'd have lost our country forever. All this had to be revealed. It had to go down just the way it's playing out, everybody. And this isn't. They asked me after when Donald Trump won the 2024 election. I was with him in Mar-a-Lago, and then I went up to the convention center where it was 2:30 in the morning. Donald Trump had just been declared
I
our
was there. Yep.
president, and here's all the media in front of me: the CNNs, the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, the New York Times. They're lined up like cordwood in front of me. And here, one of their little snot reporters from NBC, I think they picked her to be their spokesman. She comes up to me and she says, Mike, your friend won the election. Was this election stolen? And I looked at her and I said, you guys know what I've been fighting for. And I said, you also know I don't trust any elections ever done with electronic voting machines, ever. ever. And, and Elon Musk put this out. That's the summer of 24. He says, here's a guy, a tech guy, a genius going, we can't use computers in elections. That you cannot. You can't put it down where a few people can cheat to steal our country. And but anyway, I put her in her place, going, I'm going to keep fighting. And because when Donald Trump won the 2024 election, everyone's going, Mike, it's over, it's over. No, you guys, after he won, they stole 9 congressmen and 4 senators that they didn't even come in. They came in like 3-4 weeks later, where everybody's looking, going, "Oh, look at Donald Trump won. Yes, we're saved. We're saved." And as they're running under the fence, stealing these other votes to make it closer. This midterm election coming up is the most important election right at this point in history. Each one is going to be, but this one is the most important because um, the everything could be in vain. Everything could end up being in vain. All the progress we made, all the common sense things that have happened out there that um, and getting in politicians now that to bring back common sense. And I'm talking, and I'm no fan of being blocked by Republicans. So I call it the new common sense party. I'm running for governor of Minnesota. This is another thing. They even attacked me at that last night. You're like this, Vanessa. We had a parade where we had bought pillows for MyPillow, these little pillows, and throwing them out during the parade. And with our campaign on the campaign bottom for MyPillow, and here on they came out yesterday on the news here locally, and then it might have went national, but it was local. Did Mike Lindell break campaign violations by giving out his book and little pillows to during the parade? And what do it's what they do. Evil is greedy, and they're so in attack mode. That's how I get the word out. It was a beautiful mini attack. They had to admit that Mike's polling number one. I'm polling that 27%, 5 above the closest person. So I'm looking forward to winning. This is going to be pretty amazing when we can break through and get what we've all been fighting for, um, and that's common sense change to our country.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because I know the mainstream media too well. That's where I came from. That's where I spent most of my career. And I knew the minute I saw the video this weekend of the parade you were in and you were throwing out the mini My Pillows to the crowd, and the crowd was loving it. I even saw a police officer run to
Oh yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
vehicle to grab one. Yes. And so I thought, oh, the mainstream media is not going to like this at all. Sure enough, like you just mentioned, they come out with a story. Is this legal? And in the story, in the interview, you said it's no different than me throwing out hats or
Right,
shirts
right.
or
It,
anything for my campaign. So, what's the difference? It's just
no,
them finding fault as they always do.
Yeah, and what they said was this is kind of they go this wasn't on the actual what they did their report, because it was a 45-minute interview as I sit right here in this chair yesterday, and they said, Mike, what do you think your donors feel about that? You're giving out books and pillows and I go, well, I'm in first place. I suppose they think I'm a pretty good marketer. That is what I do. And he didn't know what to say.
That is
I
who
mean,
you are. Yes.
the I'm sorry, but I'd rather have a little mini My Pillow than a shirt or hat, if it was me. But anyway, we also gave away shirts. We gave away one event we did. We gave away all the shirts. We were just up at a fair in northern Minnesota. This was 3 days ago, this last weekend, and we gave away hundreds and hundreds of T-shirts. And boy, they didn't say anything about that. It's like, I think what they're trying to say is, you can't have corporate donors, and they always do this. They don't separate. My Pillow is employee owned. There's over 60 owners. That's a corporation. Of course, My Pillow can't donate stuff. The campaign bought the pillows from them. That we check boxes. We went and met with lawyers and everything. I mean, but the good thing about it is it's just really free advertising, basically. They're out there trying to bash me. The media, the people see through this, Vanessa. They see, well, you know what? They're attacking Mike again for giving away pillows. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's like, you know. But
It's never ending for you, Mike. But it's been like that for you from the beginning. You know, they attack you, but the American people love you. We have about 3 minutes left, and I want to get an update. I am asked all the time, how are you doing in your campaign from all over the country? People want to know. So if you can give us an update, I know you're leading in the polls, doing great. What can you tell us?
yeah, we're doing, and you guys go to lindellgov.com, everybody, lindellgov.com. I need you to go there. You can help us out. We do need resources. We're running the biggest marketing plan ever, I believe, for a governor in history. We're going, just like I set up the Cause of America, which I set up over 300,000 people in all 50 states, which we did over the last 5 years. Right now, we set up all over Minnesota. We call them ambassadors that run whole counties and stuff, and we're going around, and I'm personally delivering over 10,000 signs. We're going to end up around the state of Minnesota, hopefully more. And we're because the media, other than bash me, they won't even talk to me. You're not going to see me on Fox News or Newsmax. It seems like they don't want anything to do with Mike Lindell anymore. You know that they've completely shied away because I want to get rid of the voting machines. I think it all goes back to that. I want to secure our elections. And so what's going on is the people around the state, we're bringing the message to them, the message of hope and the message, the hope that we can win, which we can. And then also what I'm going to do, Vanessa, I'm going to come out with about 3 weeks before the voting starts this weekend, the early voting, but then you can vote in person in about 4 weeks. By then, I want to have my budget done for Minnesota, and it's going to show what we're going to do. We have over 24 welfare programs and over 400 NGOs. Now we all know about the fraud here that's been happening with those. So if you take the fraud out, this is my wheelhouse. I spent millions of dollars when I came out of addiction and helping the city of Minneapolis with Teen Challenge Salvation Army and Detroit, Michigan, and St. Paul, Minnesota, Rochester, Minnesota, all these places I went in to help homeless and people in addiction. And so this is my wheelhouse, and we're going to have with my running mate, my lieutenant governor, Philip Parrish. He was a Navy intelligence officer, so he's going to run a Minnesota Doge. We're going to dive in. This is going to be amazing. And we're at the tip of the spear for the nation. We're going to ban Sharia law. There's a lot of things I got on the plate here that now we're not prejudiced because of the fraud. The fraud's a blessing as far as God uses all things for good for those who believe. And we got this fraud going on, and that opened a door where we can walk through and win this.
Minnesota Doge. Can't wait to see that. Mike, it was good to have you on. Good to catch up with you. I'm also asked all the time about you, and I'll say Mike is running a TV station, My Pillow, and running for governor. I haven't talked to Mike in a while, so it's good to have you on. You're missed, and I know you're busy and doing great things everywhere you go. So keep up the great work, and congratulations again on that big legal win. I want everyone to go to his website again, his for his governor's race. Help out if you're in the area. You can volunteer. Please donate. Philip Parrish is chosen as his lieutenant governor. Save Minnesota. Mike Lindell, good to have you on the show today.
Thanks, Vanessa, and you do a great job here at Lindell TV. And you guys, remember everybody, Lindell TV is publicly traded now at MLMC. Go to the over-the-counter market and get on board here. We have the best reporters ever, like Vanessa's show here that we moved. Everybody's watching, tuning in, and you're getting the real stories and the real truth. So thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you.